This is After Effects Apprentice Lesson 7 Comp12A is open right here. And if we look at the effects control and click on the layer, we see that it is generating random numbers. So the first thing we want to do is slow this down, so I'm going to hit Command K and change our frame rate to 5 FPS. Say OK. And that functionally lowers those numbers. Next thing that we want to do is go back to our project and open up 12B. And we've got this video background here that I'm just going to put the lock on so I don't accidentally move that. And we're going to take 12A and we're going to drop it in here, and let's let it roll, and we see it's not going 5 frames per second again anymore, and that's because we didn't nest it properly. So let's go back to 12A, hit Command K, go to our advanced, and we want to preserve our 5 FPS frame rate when nested in another cube. Now we can go back to our 12B comp, and we've preserved the frame rate now. Next thing we want to do is just move this over to the side, something like this, and we are going to duplicate it 7 times. So hold down Command D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go to the Align tool, and if you don't see the Align tool, you can go to Windows tab and you can open the Align there, and we'll take one of our numbers, hit P, drag it down so that it's about the same position, got about the same gap. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift button and select all these guys, and we are going to then align them all to there. Now when we run the comp, we see that all the random numbers are generating the same number at the same time, so we need to fix that. So we'll go in here, and I'm going to right click, and we are going to pick Auto Stretch. So I'm going to pick the first one, and I'm going to make it 50%. But you see how it shortens the comp layer, and that number is eventually going to just disappear. So we really don't want to do anything under 100. So for this one I'm going to do like 120. We'll do this one at 200. And just kind of pick some different values. So let's take a look at that. Now we are generating different numbers, but if we go to the beginning of our comp, we notice that everything is it all still starts with the same number, and we have to remember that that this number lasts for 5 frames. And so we'll slide left until we get different numbers for each of these guys to start with. Alright, and so we've slipped off just a little bit off our comp, and so I'm just going to change our render bar here so that it'll just render to the end of that comp. So this is what we have going right now with our random number generator. The next thing that they want us to do is to grab comp 11A and nest that on top of this comp, and we're going to scale this down. Let's set it at, say, 50 for starters. And we're going to position it right about here. And then I want to create a new solid layer. New solid. And we want to make it a dark blue. Okay, and we're going to drag that behind the numbers. We're going to take them with the layer selected. We're going to click on the mask tool, and we're going to create a mask for that. We need to open up the blend mode, so I'm going to right click here, and we're going to open up modes, and we're going to set this to, let's see what screen looks like. Let's see what overlay looks like. Overlay looks a little cooler. And I'm going to hit T, and we're going to reduce the opacity to 50%. So this is what the comp is going to look like. So render that and put your name in the file name.